so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. Now, let me just make sure I can see all our comments coming through so that I can answer any questions that you might have today. This session is all around coronavirus and UK business. This is my daily live stream happening weekdays at 11 a.m. Sergio was saying it's my birthday. Can you say happy birthday to me? Of course I can, Sergio. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. So this is my daily live stream all around UK business, the support that is available for UK business at the current point in time. I, as always, have some notes here and some stuff to go through to make sure that I am covering everything off that I need to with you guys today. So for those of you that don't know me, if you are new to me, my name is Annette Ferguson. I'm CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I am a chartered accountant and certified Profit First professional. I help business owners take home more money from their business. Of course, at the moment, that is incredibly challenging for many, many business owners. And therefore, that's why I started this daily live stream, every weekday, to help you both during this time and of course beyond. So if you have any questions as we go through, please do ask those in the comments. I am more than happy to answer any questions that come up for you guys. So do let me know. So first off, I want to start speaking today about the bounce back loans. The bounce back loans started yesterday. So yesterday we saw applications begin for bounce back loans. If you are joining, please do give me a hello in the comments. Please let me know that you are here. I would love to know that you are here and say hello as well. So bounce back loans. There were over 100,000 applications yesterday for bounce back loans, requesting a total of £3.3 billion. And money should start arriving today if it has not already for some people. The average loan value was £30,000 and the banks received applications every 2 seconds for bounce back loans. It handled almost the same number of loans in one day, in the first day, as the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme has handled in its entire first 5 weeks. We have seen that RBS handled about 30,000 of those applications. They were the biggest SME lender by volume. We also saw Santander have handled 18,000 and already paid out 200 in the same day. So that was that's pretty good from Santander. Lloyd's about 26,500. HSBC are accepting new customers. So HSBC handled about 19,800 from existing customers and then about 14,700 from new customers. New customers will be slightly slower to pay out because they have to go through money laundering checks, which doesn't have to happen with existing customers. This is the big reason why a lot of the banks are currently only serving their existing customers, because they would have to do money laundering checks and it would slow down the process if they did it to non-customers. So they're not necessarily set up that well for that. Although we did hear yesterday the number of banks are wanting to offer it to non-customers as well. Santander, for example, you can apply once you set up a current account with them. So you set up a current account first. Obviously, at that point, you're going through the money laundering checks and then they can offer you the loan as well. Barclays were the lowest of applications with 6,000 applications coming from Barclays. But with Barclays, I had heard it's incredibly simple. You can actually just do it in your phone app. You don't even need to go to the website to do it. So a pretty incredible first day for the bounce back loans. Incredible that, quite frankly, that nothing fell over when they were receiving applications for 2 loans a second. And it is great to see that some cash is actually coming out to businesses now. Good morning, Sapphire. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Lifestyle Coach. Good morning, Anna. Who else have we got on? Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Chris. I hope everyone's well. Oh, good morning, Frank, as well. Nice to see you back, Frank. Nice to have you on. Thank you, everyone who is joining. Any questions, please do ask. I can already see some coming through in the questions as well. Wendy, Clydesdale is lending. I don't have the stats on how many they lent yesterday, but Clydesdale is in a list of lenders. Let me just pull up my sheet on the other lenders that I've not mentioned. So Clydesdale's in the list of lenders, as is NatWest, Danske Bank, Ulster Bank, which I think is linked to RBS. Do we have any others? I think they're the main ones. So yeah, Clydesdale Bank is lending under this scheme. I just didn't have the numbers that they had lent or had applications for yesterday. I didn't have that stat, but they are part of it. Yeah, Sapphire is saying Santander are currently not taking applications for new businesses. Yeah, what Santander seem to be doing is routing you to set up a current account with them. So what I expect will happen is that process will take a little time, and once you're then a client with them, then you would be able to take out this loan because you would have passed the fraud checks and things. That is what it looks like is happening at their end on that one. HSBC, the only bank that is officially actually saying, yes, we are accepting non-clients, and they've got a bit of a workaround with a temporary bank account set up that they are putting in place for those clients. So that is where we are. We are hoping that the scheme will be extended to other banks as well, and fintech businesses too. So it's watch this space on that, and we're hoping that they'll be extended. Now, let me see what other questions I have coming through. What's going on there? Let's see. There we go. I spotted a question from I'm Lifestyle Coach. Thank you for valuable information. You are more than welcome. Any grant news for people who use their home and car as an office? Yeah, absolutely. I did mention this yesterday, but we have had grant news on that. So there are discretionary grants now available from local authorities for businesses who are not or were not entitled to the first round of grants. So what the local authorities are saying is that it's at the complete discretion of the local authority to pay out other businesses. The government are asking them to prioritize people who are working from shared spaces, regular market traders, small charity properties, and B&Bs. But there is funding available. So I highly recommend that you speak to your local authority. Check out your local authority's website and speak to them around their discretionary grants that they have available. If you have not had a grant yet, that is something that you might want to try and do as well. Kate, what's your question? You've been asked to come off furlough next week. Can they re-furlough you if needed? Yes, Kate, absolutely they can. Minimum period of furlough is 3 weeks. So you can come off furlough and then go back on furlough again. If the business you work for requires you to do that, you absolutely can do that. So that is covered the bounce back loans. I also want to speak about the support for self-employed business owners. So there is now an eligibility check you can do online, although some people have been reporting they're getting some interesting answers with that and ones that they didn't perhaps expect to happen. So we don't know if it's completely sound or if there's anything funny in there, but there is an eligibility check online on the HMRC website. You can head over there and find that eligibility check for the SEISS grants. You can just put that in the search bar and be able to find that way. What we are hearing is that for those self-employed grants, accountants will not be able to claim on behalf of their clients. This is going to be quite interesting because, of course, many self-employed businesses have their accountants doing all their tax work for them. So many self-employed business owners may not have a government gateway registration number. If you do not, then I urge you to go and do that and get yourself set up so that you have that in time for being able to apply for these grants when they open up. We are hearing that business owners will be written to over the next week or so with ways to apply for the grant. So make sure that you get a government gateway number set up if you're not already. If your accountant typically submits your tax returns for you, then you may not have a government gateway number because they will be using their agent number. So you cannot get the login from them. You cannot take their login because they will be using their agent login. So that's something to remember and understand, that unfortunately your accountant cannot submit this claim on your behalf, which is going to be very frustrating for many because there will be forms to fill in and questions that they would potentially have rather had their accountant do for them. So frustrating on that system there. Hello, Carlos from Swansea. Thank you for joining me. You are welcome, Kate. That is no problem at all. Let's see if we've got any other questions or anything coming through. I do appreciate everyone who is joining me. I can see Nat has joined as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are getting value from what I'm sharing, or if you have been on my sessions before and know that I am sharing valuable information for business owners, please do share this stream out. I would highly appreciate if you want to share it to your friends, your followers. You can share it into your Facebook groups, whatever that might look like for you, depending on whichever platform you are on. I do appreciate that. I also, of course, appreciate all the hearts, the likes, the loves, the thumbs ups, depending exactly on which platform you are on. That will all vary, but I do very much appreciate that. I can see some shares happening, so I thank you so much for sharing that out, everyone. I do appreciate it. Hello, Mark. Thank you for tuning in. And Greenman, thank you so much for sharing as well. I do appreciate that very much. So the next item that I want to cover is trade unions and business leaders are currently at loggerheads over Boris's back to work strategy. They are claiming that they're putting lives at risk in order to restart the economy. Unions are demanding that businesses should be required to publish their coronavirus risk assessments. This is linked to what I spoke about yesterday, that there were calls to basically have risk assessments done for businesses as they return back, and the unions are demanding that these should actually be published so that everyone can see what they are. Business leaders are saying that that is too bureaucratic, but they're also calling for Alex Sharma, the business secretary, to set a very clear legal framework on this so everyone knows what is expected of them. Of course, with calls for risk assessments, potentially increased costs to businesses, which is one reason as well why business leaders are saying that they do not want to put businesses through that, because it's an increased cost to them as well. So it's a really difficult situation that businesses are in at the moment around that. What I can see some questions as well. I'm just going to take a drink of my tea too. Dan is asking what platform I use to multi-stream. I use Restream. So I actually used Restream and 2 phones. So with Restream, I am streaming on my Facebook personal page, my Facebook business page, into my Uncover Wealth community, my private Facebook group, which you are all welcome to come and join, by the way. I would love to have you in there. I'm also streaming to Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube via Restream. And then I have a phone that has Instagram, and I have a phone that has TikTok, and they are all basically, all the cameras are kind of beside each other on my system, Dan. So that is what I'm using to multi-stream to different platforms. It works very well. I get the comments coming through on the platform as well. So it's been working very well for me. Welcome, Donna. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate everyone who is tuning in. Who else have we got? Hello, Sean. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Jack. Hello, Maria. Hello, Aidan Holland. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Robert Jack. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate everyone who tunes in. Hello, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in today. So this is my session on UK business and coronavirus. And this is me covering the various updates that we have for you. It is my daily live stream weekdays at 11 a.m. I am doing this session to update everyone. So some more things that we have to cover today. 6 million workers are now on furlough. This is putting rising pressure to extend the scheme to avoid a wave of redundancies happening at the end of June. I spoke the other day about how the Treasury were considering what it may look like as we come out of furlough, if there's some kind of transition period or something like that as well. We're hearing that 1 in 5 of UK employees is now on furlough. Figures will suggest that number will continue to increase as well. The ONS surveys found that 2/3 of businesses were planning on using the furlough scheme. As a way of a benchmark. In Germany, with their similar scheme, they have about 10 million people on furlough, and in France about 11.3. So we're about 6 million just now. Of course, the country sizes differ, but that is that's something to think about too. We have no reliable unemployment data yet for this time period around how many people have actually been made unemployed as opposed to be going on furlough. There will be a good chunk of that, but what we do know is there's been an increase in 1.8 million claims for universal credit. So that might give us an indication on what the unemployment statistics may look like. Of course, people who have been made unemployed and have savings will not be included in those universal credit numbers because they cannot be, they are not able to claim universal credit. So that may skew the numbers as well, something to think about there too. We are hearing that one of the big problems with restarting businesses with restarting is that many cannot operate profitably at reduced capacity. So in a situation where there is reduced people allowed into premises, for example, to comply with social distancing rules, many businesses are saying we actually can't operate profitably at a reduced capacity. And actually, we are going to be loss-making if we do that. Therefore, we're better off staying closed. So there's going to be this struggle between getting the economy started and businesses saying, but actually that doesn't restart my business at all. That puts me in a worse position than I am if I'm closed. So getting that balance is going to be very tricky. We're also hearing again the legal aspects, which I've spoken many, many times about on these sessions. There's questions being raised, what if when we reopen the workplaces, someone gets ill and, the worst happens, they pass away as a result of contracting coronavirus and the suspicion it is done in the workplace. Who is liable? Is there some liability or legal claim that then falls on the employer as a result of that situation? So that's a real big worry there for many, many employers as to what might happen over that. Any questions, do let me know in the comments. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. I do appreciate all the hearts, all the thumbs up, all the sharings, all those kinds of things. I very, very much appreciated it. So thank you so much for that. We're also hearing that we should expect the autumn budget to bring tax rises. Income tax, national insurance, VAT, just to name a few, despite there being promises previously of no tax rises. Of course, we're in a very different economic position now, and it's expected we will need tax rises to even begin to start thinking about balancing the books. There are quotes saying that spending could reach £1 trillion in the UK to support individuals and businesses and charities during coronavirus, not to mention, of course, the increased cost to the NHS as well. So £1 trillion spending is just incredible. We're also hearing that there's going to be a crackdown on tax evasion and avoidance and stronger powers of recovery for lost duties. So things are going to get harder before they get easier. And I think that anyone who is saying otherwise is perhaps naive in their view, because we are in for a recession. We are in for tax increases. And it's going to be challenging for many, many people with that. Consumer confidence is also at its lowest since January 2012, which is going to impact spending as well for people. So that's a bit of a, kind of dire note there. We're also hearing that businesses, the business world can never go back to how things were. There's reports saying that almost all of businesses have been lifted by the pandemic, conduct all or a large part of their business online. And for others, this time may have been a preview for their future. For example, large high street retailers. Also, people like small restaurants and corner shops are saying they may never open again, particularly with the rise in things like cloud kitchens. Gym operators might find it increasingly challenging if people find it more convenient and prefer to exercise at home. They've had a taste of it and people may prefer it that way now. We're also seeing managers starting to question the value of having their teams in one place against the cost of that. Many have actually seen productivity boosts over this time as a result of home working. and it said that home working could see a 20% reduction in office space. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to that office space as and when businesses move out as well. I want to, one of the last things I want to share with you is about a sausage factory. So there is a sausage factory which has hired social distancing marshals to enforce the rules. Staff are being given a £1 an hour bonus for sticking to the rules, and workers are temperature checked when they arrive each day and given face masks on arrival. So this is part of their social distancing policies, and they are being very strict with their staff on enforcing this. And good for them, quite frankly, because, you know, we want to protect our workforce and we want to make sure that people are protected as much as they possibly can be when they return to work. So I love that story from the sausage factory, hiring the social distancing marshals to enforce all these situations as well. I am having these live sessions every single weekday at 11 a.m. It's all around UK business and the support available. We speak about the economy, the banks, the government, business in general, and what that looks like in the UK at the moment. So please do mark in your calendars to join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. as well. Same time, same place. I am streaming across all platforms each day at 11 a.m. I am also live in my Facebook group later today in the Uncover Wealth community. I will be live in there with my weekly Training Tuesday session that is happening in there. So if you're not a member of the Uncover Wealth community, I highly recommend that you join us in there. I do in-depth training in there every single Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. where we dig into a topic in further detail. This week, today at 1:30 p.m. UK, I am speaking about bounce back loans, the pros, the cons, using them strategically, potentially, what that might look like for your business, and the things that you need to think about if you are considering taking a bounce back loan as part of a strategy. This is a conversation that I've been having with a lot of clients over the last couple of days. So I'm going to be doing a live session exclusively in the Uncover Wealth community today at 1:30 p.m. on that. If you are not a member and you want to join, you can just head over to Facebook and type in the Uncover Wealth community in your search bar, and you'll find us that way. You can request to join. Also on many of the platforms, in my bio, in my link on my profile, I have a resources link there. You can click there, and through that link, you'll be able to find the Uncover Wealth community as well. So you can do that either way, but please do come and join me there, and you'll be able to tune in for that session later today. Otherwise, as I said, I am back at 11 a.m. tomorrow as well to cover anything. Anybody got any last questions? And I will answer those if you have them. So do please let me know in the comments. I cannot see any there. Let's see over this side. Nothing there. And then let's check this stream as well to make sure that I have covered off any questions. Okay, good. I think we are good. Dan, I can see your message to PM you. I will do that. I think we're good. So in which case, I will sign off for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, I will be back at 11 a.m. UK tomorrow. So please do join me then as well. I would love to see you. And I would love for you to come in, as I said, and join the Uncover Wealth community. It is a completely free community of mine on Facebook, where I do share out everything that happens first in there. So that is the place to be if you want the most up-to-date information available. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.